Okay, hey guys, welcome to the AV Club. Today we're going to be doing something special for 2020. We're finally getting into some classic films. We're still going to continue The Boys. I think we're waiting for Season 2. We're probably going to wrap up Season 1 and then go right into Season 2 periodically.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just because The Boys is really cool. And then I have an idea for the book club. After The Boys is done, we read the... Okay, cool, thanks, cell phone.
Let me silence my phone.
After the AV
That's not
Club...
a bad idea.
After the AV Club we do on The Boys, we actually read the comics and compare and contrast. Any which way. So today, we are doing The Devil Rides Out, or...
The Devil's Bride.
Say it in French.
La fiancée du diable. Probably horrible French, but I don't speak French.
It's super terrible French.
There's gonna be like some French person in the comments like, "You have spoken the French most horribly."
Which is funny because...
Sacre bleu!
Which is funny because I was streaming and there was a French guy in there. So I hope he sees this. I hope he sees this.
No, because like the French, like they're very proud about their language and their culture. That they will piss on shit on people if they say that shit wrong in French.
Any which way, moving on from here. This is Krikitt's first Hammer film. So we'll start this off with a small interview. Krikitt, what do you know about Hammer?
Absolutely nothing.
Because he's uncultured swine. Alright, so Hammer was a British film production company that was founded, I believe, in the late 40s. But this is before. But they became mostly known for this immense cycle of gothic horror and occult horror films. They produced from about 1957 when that was their first big. No, actually, their first big horror franchise was Quartermass, which is a sci-fi horror. But they're famous for making these adaptations of mostly literary horror properties. Gothic, Gothic horror, right? Mummy. They did a big Frankenstein series, which is some of my favorite shit ever. Their Dracula shit with Christopher Lee.
The Gorgon.
The Gorgon, fantastic.
Gorgon.
Fantastic. I actually haven't seen Gorgon, but I'm sure it's great.
It's good.
I love Hammer horror. So they did all these movies, and they had a very distinctive house style of when you're gonna watch a movie, it's not gonna be bloody or sexual as modern horror. But by the standards of the time, this was 50s and 60s, it was very shocking. The amount of blood and sex and all the content.
And I think what's going to get you into Hammer films, like, regardless, I know you're not a horror guy, but I think what will get you into actual Hammer films is the special effects they use. Mm-hmm. Like, the amount of time they spent on, like, making their effects practical as much as possible.
That's what they had then, 50s and 60s.
Well, I mean, Frankenstein, the head squish.
Oh, yes.
So, like, that is one of the most iconic things in Hammer was like people always say if you're watching a Hammer film, people bleed 10 times more than the human body has because they actually have like in Dracula when he kills someone, his just like puddles and puddles and puddles of blood.
And part of that was because they were one of the first people doing lots of horror films in color.
Yep.
In a black and white movie, you can imagine blood doesn't mean much. It just looks like gray and brown. But when you show a horror film in color, they really exploited the fact that they could show that nice bright red on the screen.
So, yeah, hope you're excited. The Hammer films are amazing. We decided, Kaz and I, to have you here for the Hammer stuff because you're a guy who is interested in special effects. And because these guys perfected that stuff.
Oh, fantastic makeups and costumes in all these films,
they perfected that
mostly
stuff.
Mostly period horror, like Victorian, 18th century, all that stuff. We're giving it to...
But that was the reason we wanted you to be here. We know you're not a big horror guy, but these aren't horrific in today's standards. Most.
Are you a scaredy cat? You would say to modern horror movies? Yes, no.
Yeah.
These aren't horribly. They're at most to modern audiences. They're like suspenseful.
Yeah, the amount of horror you're going to get is like we said, Frankenstein crushing a guy's head.
Yeah.
But he's Frankenstein. I don't know what you fucking expect. I'd
say have you ever seen a Hitchcock film?
Yeah, like The Birds.
Actually, no.
My
Psycho.
God. He doesn't watch movies.
No, but I'm saying he knows like shit. This is like puppetry movies, like Jim Henson shit. But he doesn't know like I've never seen a Hitchcock.
I have not. I'm
Psycho,
sorry.
The Birds, Vertigo.
No.
Do you know who Hitchcock is?
I know who Hitchcock is.
Okay, at least you know.
Hitchcock. You're so averted. You're so averted. But anyway, so Kaz just bought a bunch of Hammer films.
Yeah. 7.
We just bought a bunch of Hammer films.
Seven.
So we will be having we will be having.
Oh yeah, half of these are ones I got in my class. But
Well, good. You
not the
don't
same
have to bring them over then. You don't have to worry about too much because we're gonna have a bunch of Hammer films throughout the year, and then in October we're actually going to do some of the more iconic. Like we're not gonna do iconic ones. We're gonna do their other stuff. Like I figured in October
I was
what we'll
thinking
do.
we should show Krikitt the iconic ones. We can learn about them.
Well, that's what I was saving
just
it
me
for.
and you will
October.
Oh yeah.
October, we show him like Dracula.
Frankenstein.
We show him Frankenstein. Oh, Frankenstein. Yeah, you're right.
I
Sorry.
love Frankenstein.
We do Frankenstein. We do Mummy.
But Mummy, we do the Universal one with Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, that's how do you feel going into this? I know you don't like horror movies, but how do you feel like it's an older?
Intrigued and maybe slightly concerned.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
That's a good thing though. A horror movie shouldn't let you. You shouldn't be like, I know what I'm going into. You'd be like, oh, okay, that was a fun surprise.
And the main character is Christopher Lee, just so you know.
Yeah, so I mean, you're in good hands.
Yeah, you like Christopher Lee, right? Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
Rest his soul. That man.
And
Anyway,
just one more piece of tidbit. This was Christopher Lee's of all the movies he played in. This is one of his favorite roles he ever played. So that's just.
He always brings it up.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you guys after the movie, and we'll talk about our favorite scenes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us. Go enjoy the movie too. See ya.
Rex, do you believe in evil? As an idea. Do you believe in the power of darkness? As a superstition. Now there you are wrong. The power of darkness is more than just a superstition. It is a living force which can be tapped at any given moment of the night.
Why, on one night of 1 year, should these people live in mortal fear?
My God. The goat of Mendes. The devil himself.
Christopher Lee as de Richelieu, who knows he must fight the devil's power to the death.
My God. Don't look at the eyes, Rex!
Eyes, once filled with love, are consumed with fear. For Tanith is now promise to the devil.
Listen carefully to what I say.
This is Makata, the devil's chief disciple.
Your will is leaving you, slipping away.
The Devil's Bride, from bestseller author Dennis Wheatley's The Devil Rides Out, fills the screen with a special kind of visual terror.
On your feet quickly! Back to back, join hands!
You will hear his evil. You will feel his evil. You will see his evil.
If we once catch sight of his face.
It was good.
And we're back. Hopefully you guys get to watch the film too. We'll have some scenes up in the background because this is how we're going to do this AV club. You may notice we're not live action this time. We're just going to do this like this for right now. Till we get
the formula and the set more perfected.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk much about this. After, well, I will after you two, because this is about my 200th time watching the film. I love Christopher Lee, so if we ever watch Hammer films with Christopher Lee or any film with Christopher Lee, I've already seen it.
Yeah.
I love Christopher Lee. So, Krikitt, on to you. Your first Hammer film. Really good Hammer film because it's Christopher Lee. Of course, it's fucking great. What'd you think?
I didn't know what to expect. I was thinking that it was going to be honestly more gruesome, even though I really shouldn't have thought that.
It's the 50s.
Exactly.
60s in this case.
The 60s, yes, you're right.
I was overjoyed by all of the actual, like, demonic imagery I got to see in that. That isn't just, like, the overblown sort of stuff you would see in a modern horror flick.
The blood's coming down the walls!
Exactly. There was none of that. Most of it was all, like, mind tricks and using lighting to show off things, increasing the intensity of the footage in places to make it look like people's eyes were being affected by Mr. McSpooky Cheese Man.
Oh, because we kept calling him Makata Ricotta.
Yes.
Yeah, the villain of the film is Makata.
He's this dark, satanic sorcerer, priest of Satan sort of dude.
Yeah, and I always make the joke that his name sounds like ricotta cheese, so we just kept referring to him as Mr. Ricotta. Hopefully Krikitt made a little image of evil ricotta cheese, because I kept calling him Bizarro Ricotta. Me worship Satan! Rah, I'm going bad!
Going off what Krikitt said about the
Good cheese.
this movie, which no other demonic horror movie wants to do.
Oh, yeah.
Makes me want to go and research like demonology.
Yeah.
You can tell they probably drew a lot from like real mythological stuff.
They kind of did. Like,
So I'm
I've
like-
got actual tomes and stuff, and some of that is stuff that was in the books that I've got.
Yeah, because
Like-
I recognize a lot of names of like angels and like they brought that up and the
Yep.
biblical stuff. Yeah, I want to.
That's actually in one of the ones. I think I might
Yep.
even have it in my bag.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, in front of me, is it Gabriel? No, Peter, Gabriel.
Michael and
Michael's
Michael,
Michael's the
Michael,
left
Gabriel,
hand.
Ariel, and
And
Samuel.
Oriel's the
Yeah.
right hand. Yeah. That's an actual Christianity thing
Yeah.
to like ward them off. To like you're surrounded by the angels that
angels.
guard heaven.
yeah, that was cool.
And they did it right too. But like I said before, while we were watching the film, Christopher Lee was a stickler about stuff like that. So
He was interested in the cult. You were saying.
yeah,
Yes.
he was. He was very.
So he definitely made
No
sure
wonder
to
why
get
he was
things right.
wanting to be in all these Hammer horror movies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Special effects for you. Let's get the first one out of the way so you don't have to talk about the spider.
God fucking damn it. They did really well with that spider.
Even though you could very obviously tell it was in a glass case.
It immediately triggered my arachnophobia, and I said out loud that I would have jumped out of the circle in that moment. Just fucking no!
But here's the thing. It can't get in the
I
circle.
know, but that would be my, primal response. Giant fucking spider,
Run
no,
out the door,
leave,
Yeah.
escape.
So, you leave and escape, it can chase you, but it can't go in the circle.
Yeah.
So, the idea of leaving the circle is worse than actually staying
I know,
in the
but
circle.
that would be
that's
my-
not intellectual. That's his primal
That's
fear response.
impulse.
Yeah.
Fucking beat your head in.
Stay in the
I would
circle.
thank you for doing that after the fact, but at the time I would be screeching, at least for the first few seconds.
And the worst part is my fiance would pick it up and be like, "Look at it, it's so cute!"
Yeah, I love spiders.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "This is the most adorable thing. Who wants to pet it?"
And then fucking Makata and Satan would be like, what the fuck? This is not what we thought was going to happen.
This isn't
Actually, I feel like your fiance would probably want to join the cult. Join the circle.
Which baby we killing this way? Like cross-eyed woman. We gotta talk about her after.
Oh God.
Go on though. What other special effects did you really like?
I had mentioned already the sort of what is it called? The not the enhancing, the blue eyes thing they did.
They made it really saturated.
Yes,
yeah.
the saturation. Why did I lose that word for a second?
Sorry.
But they did that with the eyes of anybody who was under his influence, where they really upped the saturation around that area, which really helped sell the thing without, putting obvious painted-on color or hue shifting on them. Instead, it just looked like lighting effects, which really, they did a lot with those lighting effects. they kept all of the cultist worshippers and the the devil worshippers in the dark.
Yeah.
They had everybody who was in the light backlit, so it would look like they're looking into the darkness.
Yeah.
While the dark people are looking into the light from the shadow. The costume that they used to represent Satan.
The goat.
Yep, the goat-headed one. It's
The
beautiful.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that scene a lot. That was like, that scene would have been like by the standards of like Britain in 1968. That would have been a very very like shocking scene. Yeah,
it was a very controversial movie, and like we were saying, how the film was actually held off until
like
the laws actually let them.
Yeah, I was doing some reading on Wikipedia. I didn't read the plot, but like I was reading a little bit about the production. I wanted to know some things, like to be able to say more during this review, and I saw like it was originally conceived like because it was based on a novel from the 1930s by Dennis Wheatley, and they wanted to make this movie for several years, like early 60s, but they waited until the late 60s because there was like all this resistance about like the satanic
showing satanic stuff.
As a little weird history, I happen to be aware of this. Britain, much later than other countries, broke down its laws against like black magic and Satanism and stuff. Britain had those laws on the books. I heard as late as the 70s, I think.
Most likely.
Until they're actually like removed. Like I don't think they're being enforced that late. Like they actually did have like anti-Satanism laws until like modern times. Yeah.
Yep. So I guess let's just break down some of the performances. I got the cast.
I didn't do my opinion yet.
Oh yeah, you want to do your opinion? Yeah.
I thought this was a very fantastic film. Few interesting notes. It was period because I think they said it when the book was written in the 30s. I'm pretty sure it was based on like the cars and the plane.
Oh,
at the
definitely.
beginning, instead of the 60s. But interesting to see Hammer in an era that wasn't the 18th, 19th century. I like that. First of all, Lee's performance absolutely stellar, hypnotic, and I noted because I like to talk about the director Terrence Fisher because he's one of Hammer's top directors very easily, and one of the most renowned and the most famous. But I think today he is, because Hammer seems dated and old-fashioned, such an under-discussed director for his technical abilities as a director. If you saw some of those scenes, the way the camera moves around, the way certain scenes are staged and coordinated and lit, that takes a maestro director cinematography. I don't know who his DPs were, or if he had a very consistent DP. I don't know, maybe. But to me, when you look at that film and you see his films, you can very clearly see, like I said, he was a director who was technically very top-notch. And very good with operating the cinematographic elements of the films. Just a camera. Okay. So let's see. We're looking at the cast and crew. Focus puller, uncredited. Camera operator, Morgan. I don't know if that was what you called the DP at the time. No, he was a cinematographer. Okay.
I just figured I'd show you. And
yeah, it seems like he did do other work with him. Like he did The Mummy and stuff. But I still think I would give some credit to Fisher.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Maybe it just had a really good relationship with him.
Yeah, because he was I don't know, just like the direction of a lot of these sequences, even like the Frankenstein films, he's very fantastic, very good. And there's an interesting element to his film. They all had his films more so than other Hammers, very Christian themes because he was a conservative Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to know how I was reading about how, they point out how in his work the ideal of like the hero is the rational Christian, not a superstitious religious person, not a callous like rationalistic person. Like the Frankenstein villain, Dr. Frankenstein, he was the cold scientific rationalist, no God.
Mm-hmm.
Then
he was God.
Yes, he thought he was God. And the kind of you can see that like he condemns that, but he also condemns superstition. Like Nicholas, he was very like you saw him. He was like he had strong faith and all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was very rational, very thoughtful, very kind of scientific about it. And then, the skeptics were condemned. So were like overly superstitious people. And I thought that was interesting. And this is interesting to consider next to Frankenstein, his other work, because sorry if I'm going on too long about this.
No, it's okay.
Go for it.
Looking at his work on Frankenstein, we didn't write them, but still, I'm just going with this. He on the Frankenstein films, you saw that it's interesting because he's fighting superstition in this film, black magic, and that dark, sinister force. And so there's kind of like, I think they're interesting films from the same director to consider against each other in the thematic way of like what he saw as like a good Christian man. That's what I'm trying to say.
I got it. Well, now that that's out, let's talk about the actors. Start with obvious Christopher Lee. And
Great director. Great actor. I mean.
Christopher Lee. I said it before, but his performances, it doesn't matter what movie he's in. Whenever he's in a film or a TV show, the camera is focused on him. It doesn't matter. The camera could be over here and he could be in the corner. You're still looking at him. He's so mesmerizing. It's like even the part of the film where it's at the very beginning when they're in the hall, the Order is talking, and he's walking and just lighting a cigar and walking, or a cigarette, I think. And he's walking. Even though we're supposed to be paying attention to the other people, you can't stop looking at Christopher Lee.
This is going to sound like a really weird metaphor about Christopher Lee, but I think Lee is to British actors what John Wayne is to American actors. Like
I can kind of see that.
Any scene he's in, not John Wayne, because John Wayne, any scene they're the one who's in control, they're the dominant figure, you know what I mean?
And it doesn't even matter if he's the main character or not, because I think back to, like, Lord of the Rings. And when he's walking with Gandalf, I'm still pulled to look more at Christopher Lee because he's a mesmerizing man, and his acting and performance is so damn good. I don't even care if it's a bad movie. If Christopher Lee is there, I'm just mesmerized by the man. Maybe it's just me.
No, I am too.
His pull in Dracula is...
He's perfect for that role.
Amazing.
It's like he was born to play Dracula.
Hypnotizing.
I would say almost more so than Bela Lugosi.
Well, here's the thing. He was so admired Bela Lugosi's performance. He wanted to embody that mesmerization that Bela Lugosi brought, because Bela Lugosi...
I'm not talking shit about Bela Lugosi.
No.
Bela Lugosi.
He brought something to that role that was so eye-catching and iconic that we still reference today.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Charles Gray. I don't care what anyone says. Charles Gray in this film as Makata was fantastic.
Very sinister presence. I like that.
Do you want to know something that I know about Charles Gray that the internet knows that you don't know? Oh. Charles Gray was the narrator for Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That is...
I hate the fact they're able to bring Rocky Horror into a film I actually like.
I was waiting the whole film to bring that up because I was like, at the end, every time, let's do the time warp. Because they time warp! They fucking warp!
Damn it!
It's just a jump to the left.
Fuck!
I'm gonna step
that
back
makes me
on
so
point,
mad.
please.
Because this is a stupid film.
Step back on point.
We're not gonna get into
we are.
Rocky.
Nike, Argith? Argy?
I see.
I can't say her last name. I'm stupid.
I would read that as Origi, Nike Origi.
Nike Origi. She was Tanith.
Tanith.
Great. I'd say honestly, like, she did great. Less so than Simon's acting. And it's not just shit on the female performances, because all the other females fucking amazing. I feel like
especially
there's scenes where she wasn't ready. Oh yeah, her name's right there.
Gwen. It's something French with a hyphen.
Yeah. She was in a lot of Hammer films as well.
Gwen
other stuff.
Francon Davies.
Let me give it a shot.
She was the Duchess.
Fucking pronounce that.
Gwen Francon.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I'm gonna pop her up on screen.
Yeah.
But look at her, like, her film repertoire. Like, she was
That's a few.
in a couple of Hammer films, and she was also in TV shows. And she did a great job.
She was amazing. I
honestly thought she was super into everything.
Yeah.
She looked like the cultist who isn't even really a worshiper. She was just excited to be there. They let her in.
Okay, Leon Green, Rex.
Oh god, I loved him.
I loved Rex. Yeah.
It's like he was not prepared. Like the character was not prepared for any of this, but he was actually at least trying to be competent.
Can I just say though that Tennant and Rex's relationship is fucking weird because it's been like 48 hours.
Yeah.
You know, saying in the
They
Universal.
did mention that they had met each other at a casino in the past.
Oh yeah, true. You're right.
But he didn't even know her name at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even.
He just met her.
Yeah.
He just recognized a pretty face.
Yeah.
It's the fucking 50s, lady. I'm gonna stick my dick in you, and that's it. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say what the fuck was I
Talking
gonna
about
say?
Rex and their relationship. With
Oh yeah,
Tennant.
it was a lot like the
Mummy.
The Mummy with the knocks in a moon, the girl gets possessed by knocks in a moon. Same shit.
Yeah.
They know each other for like 4
trope
hours.
It was like a trope of old cinema to like
Yeah.
have the girl fall in love with the guy right away.
Yeah.
So that way he would be.
We've kind of faded away from that, but at the same time, I don't think we have because
Yeah.
you have movies that are just as like terrible with that. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't dislike the fact that some
Damsel in
characters
Distress,
can. Yeah, well,
or
no, I don't dislike the fact that characters could just fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm being honest, that's how it was with my fiance. The minute I met her, I was like, oh my god, I like this woman. And it's, Stan Lee in real life, when he first met his wife, she was already married to another guy. He turned around at a party and was like, I'm going to marry that woman. So no doubt it exists.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's so fucking convenient in the films ruins the movie for me. Because I expect her to be at least like, oh, dude, back off. Like, we just met, but I want to kiss you.
And then you think about like courtship in that era and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
It was very important to it.
No, I mean people didn't have like as long as like pre-marriage relationship before. You know what I mean? Before then. So, like,
but courtship was very important, though, especially for the era they were trying to perceive. Like,
1930s England.
to be a gentleman and then to like that was apparently very important to how relationships were formed. But anyway, Patrick Mower as Simon, fantastic. Honestly,
oh yes,
Christopher Lee and him, I think, were the best performances.
Yeah, they
and
are.
Charles Gray, I'll give it to him. He was the
Makata.
best villain. But I mean, seriously, Simon was so believable. Like he was kind of like I have no choice but to do this, but he was believable. Is what I'm saying.
And that kind of like role is like we are like being possessed and stuff. Very easy to overact. Very hard to do like he did. I think that was a lot harder than
Rex. When Rex was when we first meet Rex, he seems a little over the top, and then as the movie goes on, it seems that the actor finally got into it. Because in the first few scenes we see, he's like, I'm here. I'm on the stage with Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
I'm left stage to Christopher Lee. Like, yeah, but like take it down a notch.
Very exciting.
And then you can see throughout the film it gets a lot better. Sarah Lawson as Marie, which is Christopher Lee's niece.
Yeah, the mother of the little girl.
The little girl.
The wife of the guy.
What'd you think? I thought her performance was fantastic. She gets
really
possessed a little bit. Like, kind of possessed, quotes.
Ends up becoming like...
I liked a lot of the things with the acting of like how the people who were under his influence, they have that like doe eyes sort of that the way they acted that way was very good. I thought.
Yeah.
Even like Tannen's actors. That's kind of, I imagine it's hard to do.
Especially with the lights in your eyes.
Yeah.
Lights in your eyes, the wind going on in the machines and that.
Yeah, that was probably...
smoke that probably really hurts your eyes. Probably the reason that one black guy had the glowing red eyes.
That's the
Indian guy,
no, he was supposed to be a servant of the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't help myself. I'm gonna try and find if there's a clip online and put it on the screen in the background now. Just like him showing up, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, "That is some good weed!"
I think it was this guy, the African guy, Yemi something.
Yeah.
The actor in the background of that one party. I found out that guy's like a playwright in Nigeria.
Yep.
He's like a famous like writer. He's had this bit part in this English movie, but he's like a writer in Nigeria. He's like well known. I thought it was kind of a cool fact.
Yeah.
Paul Eddington as Richard Eden, which was the father of Peggy and
the husband.
The husband to Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did really good at playing a skeptic. There's a couple of scenes where I think I could have brought it up more, of like him being like, it's nonsense. But like they kind of play it out a little.
Yeah.
The water drinking scene was probably the best part of his whole believing it arc, because he's like, it's just water. I just poured it. He's like, no, that's what he wants you to think. Like, that was a good one. That was really good. But before that, he kind of keeps playing it off and again. Like, it even felt like he was going to leave the room at some point after getting choked out, where like they're like, do not leave him alone under any circumstances. Do not leave him alone. But it also felt like he was just like, I'm gonna leave the room. I don't believe this. And it's like, even if you don't believe it, after being choked out, you'd be like, I'm just gonna stay away from you, but I'm not letting you out of this room now. You know, there's a little girl out there and my wife. I'm not letting you out. I think that would be more approachable, but he kind of just like ran to the door. I felt that was a little too much. But any which way, it gave circumstance to the scene about the escape. Rosalind Landor as Peggy. She was the little girl.
Yeah.
She didn't get a lot of screen time, but the few scenes she did get, I always
can only imagine like how
he didn't stay long. I love that. What the fuck?
She's really more of a plot device than a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was fine, but
it was just,
that little girl. What's happening after the credits roll? Because she has just encountered literal devil worshippers.
the devil himself.
yeah.
That
Like-
evil and shit.
She just watched a bunch of people get sucked to hell in a blaze of fiery hate.
And after this film, she had a decent career as well. So
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Based on, like, the
Actually, wait, come to think of it. Because at the end of the movie, can we mention that? I don't know.
yeah. Well, we'll do it after we do the list.
Okay,
We got
then
one
I'll say
actor
that.
left. One actor.
Yeah.
It's Russell Walters as Malin, who was the right hand man to I kept wanting to say Makata.
Yeah.
He's the right hand man, the guy always wearing purple.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of him in the film, but because he is a well known actor, he did make the list.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we didn't get a lot of him, but from what we saw, I mean, it was just he was there. He did his job. He didn't really speak.
Great
that
job,
much, so-
purple guy.
Yeah, great job, purple guy. But again, Simon, his actor Patrick Mower, and Christopher Lee stole the show.
Oh yeah.
Amazing performances by both.
I was wondering how, like, with how the direction and his performance kind of bounced off each other.
Yeah.
You notice a lot of whenever he was talking, the camera locked onto him. He was the one and like
He's
notice
the
like
source of the exposition.
Yeah.
You want the audience to be paying
there were
attention
interesting
to
scenes
everything
where, like,
he says.
towards the beginning when he's talking. I don't remember what he said, but he said something like you know what I'm talking about. This scene,
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're talking
Where he's
about.
like, that is our very souls. The camera kind of pushes on him, and you can see that really brings it out. Fisher really knew how to make a performance, because people overlook that. A lot of times, the best performances are not just the best performances; they're the ones that the camera work and all that really accentuate it. That's
everything.
why people always talk about Scorsese's films having great acting. 1, because he directs well. 1, because he gets good actors. 3, because the camera movements, angles, zooms, all really accentuate performances.
And all play off each other. All right, I hate to cut you off short, but we have 10 minutes left of the video. Guys, we are going to spoil the hell out of the rest of the film from now on. It is a film that came out in '68, so I don't see how you can't freaking
If you
watch
really
it right
don't
now.
want to, this is your warning.
Yeah.
This is the spoilers. We got 10 minutes left. Let's do this. Let's get into it. So we'll talk about the Angel of Death.
God, that
And
was
that whole storyline leading up to the end. Like, Makata summons the Angel of Death to take Simon.
so they have to do that spell, which could run the risk of warping space and time and destroying their souls.
One would say a time warp. Sorry, I couldn't do it
The
during
more
the film. I couldn't do it during the fucking film, alright?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have even got it at that point.
I wouldn't have.
But when you did, you hated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do that.
And then
Instead, the Angel of Death goes for a certain lady who had escaped.
Tennant. You don't have to. You can spoil it
Yeah.
now. We already gave a spoiler
Tennant
warning.
escaped, and she ends up being killed by him instead.
And Rex has to bring her back.
Yep.
So they go to Makata's and the devil worshippers' base of operations.
Where they're about to sacrifice little Peggy.
Yep. And Then after that all happens, they do the chant again. Peggy and Tenneth, who is actually in the body
Who is
of
possessing
Marie,
her.
Yeah.
Possessing Marie.
and they do the prayer, and well, not the prayer, but the Latin magic.
Yeah.
And they wake up again, and we see the same scene twice, but it ends differently.
Yeah,
now.
that was cool.
And they were all confused, and I looked over, because at that whole time, you guys noticed, I stopped looking at the film. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah,
I was
you
just
were
looking
looking
at
at
you
us,
two and waiting for the reaction. And you two said exactly what I thought you were going to say. Was this a fucking dream sequence?
I thought, like, he, like, drew them into a dream or some sorceress
That's what he thought, too.
Yeah.
And then, like, they, like, defeated him in the dream or some bullshit like that.
No, but it's because they said the prayer, the thing, the
Yeah.
magic words again, it reversed it.
Yeah.
So now, the Angel of Death could only take one soul left that was involved in the ritual. It was either Simon, Tenneth, or him, or Makata.
Yeah, and they took Makata.
So he took Makata and the followers.
Yeah. Which leads me to another question. What about all of his other followers?
He took them too. That's why they melted into the ground.
Yeah.
He took them all because they were involved in the ritual.
Yeah.
So he has to return with a soul, at least one. But
Yeah,
he took them all instead because they were part of the ritual.
Okay. Because yeah, okay.
They all melted into the ground. You saw it.
Yeah, I figured that would have been undone.
No.
By the enchantment.
No, it didn't. Okay, it's confusing to go through. But what happened at that time really did happen. Yeah. But now, because they went back in time, it technically didn't happen. But the Angel of Death still took them all the same way.
So their bodies just fell over wherever they were at that moment.
Well, they pussed up into the smoke.
Okay.
You saw how like they were fading into smoke at the end.
So
I know it's a confusing ending point, but Christopher Lee really does do a good explaining of it. Like, that was the past, but now it's not the past.
Yeah.
So we're in a new timeline where we all survived, and he took Makata and
yeah.
He's taking ricotta cheese and the rest of his dairy duo.
His dairy cult.
His dairy duo.
His dairy cult.
Oh, hey, Deus Milkio. Cheerio.
They worship a cow instead of a goat.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that old films like this, especially Hammer films, are films you should have a group of friends.
Yeah.
Sit down. If you guys like alcohol, take a shot every time something bleeds.
Yeah. No, in some of the Hammer movies, not this one, you might die of alcohol poisoning.
I know. But that's why you only watch some.
Every time you see blood.
Yeah.
You have
not
like
just bleeds, because if we do.
Oh no, that's why you do if someone bleeds, because
blood was like a prop.
Yeah, blood's a prop.
Movies, yeah.
So it's not every time you see blood; it's every time somebody bleeds.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of drinking games actually with Hammer films.
Really?
There's a whole bunch of them because they're just so fun to watch with a group of friends.
Yeah.
Because people do exactly what I did the entire time. They don't riff on the film as much as they do just make jokes about certain little things. Like,
by modern standards, a lot of them are fairly cliche.
Yeah, but
still good.
But we still enjoy watching them. It's not like you're watching. You're not like my sister and I. You know how we do crap fest.
Yeah.
My sister and I will pick 4 or 5 terrible. It's
not Plan 9 from outer space.
I like Plan 9 though. I know it's terrible, but I like Ed Wood.
Yeah.
I like.
It's like the Narm weird charm of his.
Yeah. But anyway, well, plus that's the only footage we really have of Vampira, so
I'm
not going to knock it.
Yeah, you're not. You gotta keep that shit.
Yeah, that's why.
History.
Yeah, preserve Vampira because she's already not preserved.
Yeah.
They didn't record back then. Any which way. Amazing film. Watch it with friends. I think it makes it better. Honestly, every Hammer film watched with friends, I think makes it 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because you're all enjoying the cheese together, but it's not cheese when it came out. It was horrific when it came out. But to us, it's cheese, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It ages like a good cheese.
Yeah, it's still good.
One would say a marcata. But that's a bad cheese. Stay away from Satan. But yeah, again, it's a great Hammer film for me. Out of the Hammer films, this is up there. I love this. Not a 10 out of 10. There's a lot of problems with certain actors, but it is definitely up there. I'd say an 8.5 out of 10 if you have to give anything a
What do you think of the
rating.
sets in this film?
Oh, they're fantastic. Some of my favorites.
Because for me, whenever I watch a Hammer film, almost invariably, the sets are one of my favorite parts of every Hammer
this
film.
is one of my favorite sets. All
the
of
mansion and everything.
All of it. All
Yeah.
of it is a beautiful fucking set.
I will say, I did like the sets, although I loved the Frankenstein sets more for Hammer.
They are the best. I love these sets because here's the thing though, the movie is set in like 3 locations.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
There's 3 locations. The forest, there is the road, but the road is like the same road over and over again.
They're projecting that
so
shit.
there's like the forest, the main house, the main mansion that they're in, and then the Eaton's mansion.
Right.
And that's it. And these people go through cars like fucking water, so...
We were talking about that. They just, like, crash the car. They leave their cars behind. They're just, like, they don't... Are they so rich in this
Like-
part? Like, they don't give up... The cars mean nothing to them?
When Rex asks the Duke or Nicholas to use the car, he's just like, pick one. Like, fucking hell, you guys. And then when Rex arrives with Tenneth at the Eaton's house, he's just like, I'm gonna take your car. Like, because Tenneth drives off. Yeah, watch it with friends. It's a great film.
So I'd like to point out that there is apparently a cheese called the Devil's Suppository.
Perfect.
Perfect. It's Makata's cheese. Oh, that's fucking nuts.
Bend over, Makata. Ew. Oh, no. That's not even cheese. That's just a butt plug.
Cheese.
I know, it's weird. But
That's why it's called the Devil's
Suppository. It looks like a butt piece, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also probably like an insanely spicy cheese or
Or
something.
something, yeah.
I
Well,
want
it's
to
made
figure
of
out what
Satan's
this
butt, so it should be.
Yeah, we got his toe over there. Why not?
From the stream.
You could hear the pain in your voice.
Well,
I loved it.
I don't
Like
want to
your
think
tongue
about that.
throbs with, the shared, with just being reminded of its existence.
I have like post-suffering anxiety about the fucking Devil's Toe.
Your
Don't bring it
Vietnam
near me.
flashback.
I'm gonna get like my Vietnam flashback.
I'll go grab a cross and some holy water.
Oh, yeah, for this
So
movie,
about
yeah.
a minute left. Krikitt, final opinion.
10 out of 10 would watch again.
Really?
Watch again,
You
really.
liked it that much?
Nice. Well, we have a bunch of Hammer films coming up throughout the year. They're not going to be one after another, but we are going to do Hammer films. Because
I saw that in the collection you have. Just bring that up. I haven't seen it. I really want to watch the Dr. Jekyll one.
Oh yeah, don't watch it without us.
Yes. Because I've been going through the Hammer.
I've watched almost every Hammer film.
No, you haven't. There are like 100 of them.
Huh?
No, you haven't. Like 50 of them.
I've watched all
The Hammer horrors, at least.
Yeah, the Hammer horrors.
They also did a lot of other stuff.
Oh, they did a bunch of sci-fi stuff they started off with and whatnot. Yeah.
They also did a lot of like Hitchcock clones that were good.
Yeah. I told you guys this before. My great grandmother, she used to have a bunch of British stuff because her family came from the UK. So they always brought over stuff for her. So I grew up with stuff from the 70s and 60s. So Hammer was just part of her collection. I grew
My
up
great grandmother
with it.
came from England, actually. My mother's side.
Well, it's yeah.
Well, it's something random.
That you guys know that I grew up with that. I grew up with Red Skeleton. I grew up with Benny Hill. I grew up with all of that stuff. So that's normal to me.
Yeah.
I never knew what was normal to regular kids because I was growing up watching 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s
British
stuff.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, and it was all British stuff. So like when I went to school, I had nothing to talk to kids about.
Yeah.
And when I would tell them about Frankenstein, they think I'm talking about the Universal thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? No, Frankenstein kills people.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, Frankenstein monsters kills people. Yeah, he does.
Another Hammer film I want to find for us to watch is the Rasputin one. You know that exists.
That would be good.
There was one about Rasputin. Oh, sorry.
Speaking of Bela Lugosi, since we're wrapping,
Christopher Lee, or was it Peter Cushing who played Rasputin in that movie? I think it might have been Christopher Lee.
It might have been Christopher Lee. Yeah. I'm not 100%.
That would be an amazing.
But since we spoke about Bela Lugosi in this, how would you guys feel watching a public domain movie with Bela Lugosi in it? And we can actually live stream that whole thing.
Oh, Dracula?
No, Dracula's not public domain. We can live stream White Zombie with Bela Lugosi. It is one of my favorite Bela Lugosi films. I have a copy of it.
Is it the Voodoo one?
Yes.
With that was produced by Val Lewin, I believe. And directed by Jacques Tourneur. Oh, I want to see that. And that's also
how would you guys love to do that? We do it on a live stream. We get some people in, and we can just riff on the movie.
And then
was
just
much
saying,
fun.
we watched the old Italian horror film Black Sabbath because those are both the basis
it's
of names.
really good.
Both the basis of the name for metal bands.
Yep.
Rob Zombie's original band was called White Zombie.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
That was my nerd metal shit.
Your
My
last
opinion, a fantastic addition to the Hammer catalog. I loved it.
Recommend, like I said, watch it with friends.
Yeah,
Makes it
watch
a
it
hell of a
again.
lot
Watch
better.
it as many times as you want. It's great.
I always
Great
recommend
atmosphere,
people-
great spins, great sets, great direction,
I
great
always
acting.
recommend watching Hammer films with friends.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just a nice friend film. You
Yeah.
can all bond over something like that you love.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. The next AV Club should be The Boys episode 4. And then after that, probably another Hammer film, and then another Boys. We're gonna start stacking these on top of each other because we got a schedule now.
Yes.
I was doing it while watching the film.
Uh,
And we should be able to stack these on top of each other, start getting this stuff going.
if not Hammer after
Pumping.
Hammer, that gothic horror and horror after horror.
Yeah.
Mostly Hammer, I'm saying.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next time.
But before we go, reminder, every Sunday we are live on Twitch at twitch.tv/RottenBrainsPod. I, Fearless Hobo, am always live on Wednesday at twitch.tv/fearless_hobo. Come over, check us out. I play games, like, I don't know. I play whatever I'm feeling that day. The other day I played Skyrim. I'm probably going to play more 3000th Duel and then more Skyrim again. And this Sunday we should be playing Star Wars, I believe, if Kaz can't make it. And if Kaz can't make it, we'll be playing Star Wars, and we'll talk about our Star Wars junk. We'll probably get messages from him over Discord or in chat itself if he's able to watch it.
I'm not stuck at my stupid fucking work function.
All right. So, thank you for
wait.
joining us.
Just wait. Your boss is going to stumble upon this one day.
No, they don't.
I've been Fearless Hobo, John.
Cosmonaut.
And I'm Krikitt. And we'll see you next time with Rotten Brains!
This is MacArthur.